Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and I want to thank you for joining us for this episode, whether you're watching us here in the audience, whether you're on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on any of our television platforms, Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, Android TV, thank you for joining us. Or if you're listening to us at a later date on our podcasting networks with Spotify or any of the other platforms that we're on, thank you so much for joining us. And one of the cool things about the speaker that we have tonight is you're going to continue to receive that energy, whether it's live or if it's on a replay. So, our guest for tonight and for this episode is Ken Lloyd. Now, Ken is a one of a kind spiritual healer. He has integrated 13 different soul aspects from his oversoul into his third density body as a result of a near death experience. I have one soul in my body and I'm connected to my collective. I don't know how it would be to have my collective in my body all of the time. So, Ken, I think that's quite a feat. Now, this embodiment allows him to be able to tap in to his higher dimensional frequencies and to facilitate connections across the universes to diverse ascension and healing codes to humanity. And as a spiritual gift activator, Ken's mission is to unlock those gifts that's embedded within everyone by removing energetic blockages, applying activating encoded energies that are stored in his consciousness. He accelerates your spiritual growth, allowing you to access to more of your own DNA print. And tonight, I'm going to turn this over to Ken in just a moment, and he's going to provide a demonstration of these amazing gifts. But first, Ken, welcome to Cosmic Conversations.
Wow, what an introduction. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be on your show. So thank you. Thank you very much. This is exciting. I just went through some major transformations, some upgrades, if we want to call them upgrades. And tonight's one of the first nights I get an opportunity to share these new frequencies and these new codes, if you will, with everyone who's listening. I want to kind of do a couple disclosures first. So this is going to be an intense session. And when I say intense, it may not be intense on the call, but it may be intense slightly afterwards. The frequencies being delivered tonight will go on for about 7 days. And what this means is that you're going to feel some shifts in the body, shifts in the emotions, and shifts in your life. Are these all pleasant? Not necessarily. You may find yourself emotional, crying for no reason or knowing why you're crying. I suggest you allow that to happen and release. There is a transformational protocol that I created. It's a document on my website, kenlloydofficial.com. Under the Work with Ken, there's a menu item that says transformational protocol. And it'll show you some ways to work through these energy shifts in the body, including some grounding suggestions and other things. One thing I would like to recommend is try to avoid additional frequency work, additional healing work for the next 4 days, and allow these energies to work through your system. So yeah, it's going to be intense. Tonight, while we call this a group healing, this really is working on the mind, body, and soul. It is working on the dis-ease, the ailments, the things that plague you, if you will, but it's also working on those things around you, removing the energy that causes disruption in our life, those blockages, as we say. It works on all those layers. You're going to get exactly what you need tonight. This isn't a healing that says you're coming here for this exact thing. My team, all of the team, right, will give you whatever it is you may need. So with that being said, tonight I'm going to be taking everybody into something called the Living Library. So the Living Library is described by some as all of consciousness. And this is one of the tools that I have access to. So in this, it's just a real simple visualization. And we'll be taking you through removing some of these contracts and some other things that actually cause what I call energy interference or distortions. In order to allow the body to heal, we have to remove these things. And then we're going to take you through some other things that I call follow the bouncing ball. One of the things I want to stress is you cannot get this wrong. It doesn't matter what you see. It doesn't matter if you can play along with the visualizations. I'm doing the work with you and I'm doing the work for you. So I suggest just to sit back, relax, and allow whatever happens tonight to happen. And then I do ask that if you do have an experience, put it into the chat window later. Let the world know, what experience you had. Because once one person types in there, you'll see how many, many, many more start talking about what's going on. So the other thing that's going to happen tonight is I'm going to work on raising your frequency. We always talk about ascension, and ascension really is raising our frequency, removing those things in our life that bring us down, like a hot air balloon. We remove the sandbags. So I'll be moving you up from your 3D harmonics to your 5D harmonics tonight. And it's up to you to keep them there, right? It's up to you to do the work, to continue to do the work, to continue to heal yourself. So with that being said, I want everyone to just get comfortable, remove all the distractions. You'll hear a lot of light language tonight. All right. No reason to try to interpret it. Just allow the information to flow. Please take a breath in, nice and relaxed, and a breath out. Another breath in, another breath out. Just continue to relax. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Please visualize tree roots growing from the bottom of your heart. Allow them to grow down the torso and down each one of the legs. Further down, and out through the feet. Grow them into Mother Earth and grow them all the way down and down until you see the beautiful orange glow of the center of the earth. And wrap those tree roots around 3 times counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3. And pull them nice and snug with love. Sharia Tarikitia Nesharia Momioto Yetiata Aba Alieti Eti Shariato Koto Sharia Ba and Sharia Tarikitu. Please visualize a golden orb just above your head. And say the words to yourself, not out loud. I wish to connect to the highest of the high, closest to source. That's in 100% alignment with me and my mission. And as you do that, visualize that orb coming down the crown, down the top of the head, down the center of the body, and moving into your heart. Shariatoria miania nia shariato tiati shukata kari shiliato sharia porkoto sharia. Open your heart up, feel the warmth. We're going to take a breath in, take a breath out. And as you take that breath out, expand that orb so it's 6 feet all around your body with your heart open. You are now inside the higher self-consciousness. So please visualize the living library as a tall, white stone building with little Roman-style pillars on the outside. It's okay if it comes up different for you. Allow whatever to show to show. Please locate the entrance. And as you locate that entrance and you walk through the entrance, you're going to see a little security scanner, just like airport security. And as you move through this, negative attachments in your field will be left behind. And as you move through this, locate the chair and the table in the room and have a seat. Please notice the very hot fireplace in the room. Now say these words to yourself. I ask to be shown all agreements, contracts, and promises, blood oaths and commitments, and court judgments that no longer serve my highest and greatest good, and ask to see them as books and papers on the table in front of you. I'm going to call them in. Karishaliatoria tia shikari katari katishi kadai sharia dashirikoto shiriporikoto shiria piriati shirikatika shikarikarishkudo brikoto shiriatari kitishiriato kukukukukukitikitikupukutu karari shirikondo shoroni anami ni and ushurioto. And however they show up, they show up. Allow the image to unfold. And as you see these, begin visualizing the books and the papers being thrown into the very hot fireplace to be burned into dust. This is you. This is your free will, moving those things that no longer serve you. Sharia tarika to shudukutokutokia parikatati to sharia niatarika to shkopo niatarika to sharia tokato sharia tia. Sharikapoku. Allow that to continue. They're almost done. Sharia toria shud to sharia tariata. And as it completes, just look around on the floor for any dust, any leftover papers, and sweep them into the fireplace, please. We want to do a clean job. Shariatari and Shiriata Katati Tokatati Tarikati Shiriama Mamani to Shariata Kati Shiriotori Sharia. Now, notice the fireplace being replaced by the Ark of the Covenant, a treasure chest looking object with two poles sticking out of it with the lid open, and a beautiful bright golden glow coming from the inside. It's okay if you can't visualize this. Just allow whatever to show up to show up. I'm bringing it again for you. Now these ones are going to be a little more intense. Please say these words to yourself. I ask for all hexes and vexes, curses and magic, witchcraft, spells and demons, jinns, entities, negative implants, cords, siphons, hooks, controllers, and bindings to be removed, dissolved, and destroyed. And as you see these, as you say that, objects are going to come into the room and allow them to flow directly into the Ark of the Covenant for permanent dissolution. Yes, that was a mouthful. Just allow it to flow, and I'm going to assist. Shariatari katia taya taya tari tia niatoria tari katia tari katu sharia parakatari katia sharia nita shania tari ni sharia nia tari ni sharia tari amoria ni sharia ni chichika tia tori porikoto sharia tia ria ta aria nia tori onoria donia ma ni sharia porikoto sharia tari ti sharia kutu sharia pa sharia tia nia tori porikoto sharia ta ti ti porikoto sharia tari ti sharia ta kata no sharia porikoto sharia tari ti sharia to. And when it's all done, just notice the lid close. Please visualize in that room, only you in that room now. Please visualize an open red rose. This is your heart. This is your opened heart. Please visualize a white 1,000-petal lotus with a beautiful, glowing, bright yellow center. This is my open heart. And as you visualize your open heart and my open heart, a green ribbon energy, the beautiful golden edge, flows out of your heart and connects to mine. Beautiful green ribbon energy between the two of us. Sharia Daria, Nisharia Doria, Baria, Dia Daria, Tichikatia, Tisharia, Tikutusharia, Ba, Nisharia, Tokabukutusharia, Barikatasharia. Just relax and allow yourself to drift away. For the next few moments, I'm going to be working on clearing, energizing, and expanding your chakras. Nothing you need to do. And we're going to start with the root. Shukturia Parakatika Tarika Tichikatika Pariko Sharia Tarika Tika Pariko Tika Tarika Pariko Tuka Pariko Tuka Pariko Tuchika Tichika Sharia Shikaro Pariko Tuka Parikata Tika Pariko Tuka Parika Expanding it now. Sharia body and Sharia dish and dish and dish and dish and dish and dish. Allow it to flow. Allow it to flow. Moving up to the sacred again. Nothing you need to do. Be relaxed. Allow whatever happened happen. Sharia ni ammonia ni apa opo ya ada sharia da ade sharia da ade sharia da ade sharia da sharia da sharia to sharia bro to sharia da ade sharia to sharia ti amani ni sharia da sharia mori to sharia ti sharia por to sharia ti to pull the trauma out. Shrigotoria Paracati Shria Titi to Pukupa Ate Chiti Ata de Chiricati Shariani Ammonium Mukurusha Mao to Sharia Tata Taria Sharia and expanding. Hialea Nia Moya Neata, Taya Diata, Kariata de Chitiata, Sharia Tikiti Shariata, Ayana Molu Sharia Dia Shariata Atetiata, the Shrigotu Shuru. Ashato Boyatari, we thank you. Moving up to your solar plexus. Just gonna blow some polos here. Sharia and light it up a little brighter. Sharia dosha poria to Sharia Sharia Tikati to front back. Sharia Doria Daria Tisharia Daria Tisharia to Shapuko to Sharia Daria Titi to Puko to Sharia Paria. Beautiful, beautiful. Move into your heart. Ayatia Niataria Niataria Nachariatoria Mariatoria Taria Tichiria to Sharia Taria Tichiria. Karia Sharia Taria Totia Sharia Taria 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 Tashiri Dubrio Sharia Ayata Tisharia Taria Tichiruko to Sharia Taria Tishiri Tishiri Dubrio Sharia Shukutu Shirikata Shukuturia Parika Nichurio Pariko to Sharia Titi Tichuko to Sharia Sharia Abiata Niata Atashiria Musharia to Kotoshu to Chitia Paria. Sharia, thank you. Can expand. Sharia Tari, ni Sharia Toria, Paria, Tishiria, Tachi, Chichipuru, Chuchi, Tishiria, Tishiria, Toshiria, Parika, Tashiria, Tashiria, Sharia Toria, Parika, Tashiria, attack the front back. Karika should go to Sharia, Tishiria, to Puruku to Sharia, Taria, Tishiria, line them up, Sharia Toria, Tatika, Tachi, Chichipuru, to Sharia, Taria, Tishiria, Tishiria, to Sharia, Tishiria, continuing up to the throat. Katia to Chetia ta the Kutu Shania ta Nichio Toria ta Tichudi Shiria Tikiti Shiria ta Tishika to Kutu Shiria of Pussy Shukotoria Park, Tishika to Shukotoria ta Tikata Tishri a little more. Beautiful. Shario Bariate, Nia Dai, Hero, Shurio to expanding. She and Yatari, Tishiria Tishi, Tishu, Tushiria Taka, Tishiria Taka, Tishiria, Shuria Doria, back, Arishika, Shirikatoria, Shadir, Shiri, me and Yatari, Shuria Daria, Tishiria, Shuria Niata. Moving up to that beautiful third eye. Oh, Emma, yeah, now I shall up, yeah, dear, Tidia, Shirika, spinning it. Shutoria, Tidia, Sharia, Darika, Tishika, Darika, Tishi, go wish for your Shurika, Telia, Chiti, Shuria, Shutu, clear it out, Shiria, Doria, Parika, Tishika, Shiki, Prikushia, Daria, Daria, Shiria, Shuri, Sharia, Daria, Shuria, back. Aria da di Sharia di Taria, Shuria, Bari, Da, Sharia, Daria, Sharia, Budio, Sharia, all of them. Shurko, get connect them. Sharia, Sharia, Budio, Sharia, Daria, Sharia, 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 Daria, Daria, Sharia, Sharia, Baria, and finally, working on that beautiful crown. Ai aleatoria tari shiriata kari shiriatari tishirikato shiriatari tishirikato shirikato shiria bringing the energies in. Aleatoria body shiriatari kato shirikato 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 shiriatari shirikato shiriati shiriatu shuru. Shuru shiriati shiriatari tishiriata shiriati shiriatu all the way down, all the way up. Shugo shiriati shirikato shirikati shirikuchi to shiria to shiriata. Karia body ama ini shiriata tishiru to shiriat body. Beautiful, beautiful. Just relax, take a breath. Please visualize a red light coming from above you. It's about 3 inches thick. Beautiful pink red light. As it comes down through the crown, down the center of the body, and out all the way through the floor. As you see this, watch it expand a little wider, a little wider. Continues to expand until you can see your whole body inside of this beautiful pinkish red light. And as you look above you, you'll begin to see beautiful golden orbs floating down like soft balloons, all moving in a gentle counterclockwise action, down and down. As they surround you, they come all the way to the floor and all the way up. Open your heart and feel them. Connect to them. They're reaching out to speak with you. Connect the consciousnesses and dialogue with them. They're here to listen. They spin counterclockwise. Just observe them, feel them, tell them what you're here for. Tell them the things that no longer serve you want to get rid of in life, in body, in mind. And as you do that, they spin faster and faster around the body, and they begin going in and out of the torso, in and out of the head, the chest, the legs, working on the very thing you asked for. Koreatati diatari katishikari nati aniti shiri niatari amo mayani atari ni shiri tiatari shuri bado shiri katari katishikari shiri tani amoni ani ani shiri katari shiri katori amari katari katishikari puri koto shiri kapari kataki tishiri katori. That's so very gentle, gentle, very gentle. Allow them to work. Kariati Shariatari Katishri Gadamla. Kariati Shariatori Ati Shirikati Shikiru Shiriama in the Shariatori Kati Shirikatego Shiria Parikata Karikateshkatari Gadosha Bariatari Bario Chikini Shubrikati Jubrikutukini Tesharia Kariamo Amo Ani Anorio Dush Katari Katakateshkadoria to Shiriatari. And as they move through you and around you, they remove and heal the very thing you asked for. And they begin to lift upwards and upwards and exit to the top where they came from. Sharia thank them with gratitude. Sharia Doria Porigoto Sharia Porigoto Shurundo. They are clear. Now notice a white light piercing the center of your body from above. Again, 3 inches wide. Gets wider and wider and wider and brighter and brighter and brighter. This is the healing. Please relax. Agitator, Shiriatoria, Paricotici, Paricotici, to Paricotici, to Shipario, to Shiriataria, Terio, to Shiparicatar, Paricotin, the Paricatea, to Shiricati, and Itidia, Parashutu, the Paricotici, Paricanushka, Odia, Paricotushia, Shikuri, Stereo, Chedia, Paricatar, Paricochi, Paricatia, Sharia Paricotushia, Bari, and Yata, Buyo, Shuricati, and Nata, the Shubricotushia, Tericotu, Shiricati, Shubricotu, Paricatia, Shudio Morio, Shiricataria, teach the Paricotu. Just feel the warmth, feel the energy. Shut your body and allow yourself to drift. Shariatayama ayaniya shariatoria pariatiya. Shariatoria moyalia tariati shrikato shriata. Kariati shriate kiti shriatoria po puyuto puyuto shriati. Kaya paria paria paria. And as the work's done, begins to fade away. Please visualize 7 hula hoops above your head. Those hula hoops are halos from the angelic realm, very large, very, very bright. And as you see them, they begin dropping to the floor, the first one by your feet, and the last one above your head. Please visualize yourself in the middle of these. The hula hoops get brighter and brighter and brighter. And as they get brighter, you can no longer see yourself in the middle of these. The angels are coming down from the top. Yeshua has shown up, and they all enter the halos with you. This is the removal of your trauma, your childhood trauma, your past life trauma, ancestral trauma, and your current trauma. Open your heart, allow the energy from the angelic realm and Yeshua himself to give you the love you so desire. Aya Maya Nia Aya Lo Shurya To Shurya Tari as they talk to you. Aria Tia Taria Toya To Shurya To Shurya Toria. Aya Ti Shurya Taria Taria Shurya To, they're taking it away. Aria Moria Taria Katia Taria Ti Shurya Tirku Shurya Popu Toria Ma Nia Taria. Shurya Toria Ti Shurya Ti Nia Taria Tutoria Porio Toria Taria Ti Shurya Taria To Shurya Popu Yotopu Yotoria Nia. Moya Moya Noria Tia Nia Shurya Taria Ti Shurya Toria Porio Shurya more and more and more. We deserve this. We're here for you. Sharia Doria Daria, there's so much love. Karia Sharia Doria Tia Do Sharia Ma. Aya Tia Doria Do Doria Parakuto Sharia Ti. Mo Nia Ti, Nia Sharia Doria Kuto Sharia Ti, Litaria Daria Do Sharia Do. Mo Sharia Do. This feeling, just be with it. I'll give you a few moments. Ni Sharia Do, Kuto Sharia Puyo To Sharia Daria Sharia Do Sharia. And as the work is done, the halos begin lifting, and all that would no longer serve you is taken. Take a breath. Please visualize your 12-strand DNA as a ladder in front of you. Allow it to show up however it would like to show up. God, I'm going to call it in as well. Begin spinning that DNA in a counter-clockwise direction as fast as you can while I clear the DNA of any damage, improper coding, and just notice what you notice. Allow whatever show up to show up. Allow it to span, keep spinning. Whatever falls off, please. Sharigoto Shariapoko, just clearing it. Sharia Paragoto Sharia Taria Tarigate Sharia Tarigate Sharia Paragoto Sharia Pariata Sharia allow it to slow down. Slow down. Allow it to come to a stop. Please visualize the large golden orb that has shown up. Please wait a moment while I code the orb with the repair coding, your DNA activation sequences, and your ascension codes this evening into the orb. Notice what you notice about the orb. Almost done, almost ready. The orb's ready. Please place your DNA inside of that golden orb. And now spin it clockwise. Again, as fast as you can, clockwise. And as you do that, the DNA will begin to glow a bright golden light as I install these programs coming from the orb into the DNA. Ashitoria Toria Tarikati Chiti Dubricoto Shidaparicoto Amadia Sharia Paricoto Shidia Duria Chichico Paricoto Shidia Chichubricoto Shiparicoto Sharpati Tarikati Chico Shinia Terica Chico Shikari Shikari Shubricoto Shidia Paricoto Shidia. It should only meet the delicate Sharia Toria Papoya Tichicate Obishurio Toria Tico Shidia Pariata, Caricato Shidia Caricato Brico Shitu to cheat. Ah, just keep spinning that for a few moments, please. We're almost there. There we go. Allow it to slow down. We're almost there, folks. Please visualize your body as a hologram or a mannequin, if you will, right next to the DNA. And as you do that, I want you to begin visualizing the DNA being placed inside of your body. And as you do that, it begins replicating and growing and filling up that hologram, that mannequin, tightly packed. I'm going to assist. This is installing Unicodes. It's really that easy. Folks, that's it. You can come out of that when you're ready.
Beautiful. I loved it. Thank you so much. I could feel the power of your words coming through. I'd like to go ahead, if it's all right with you, and open up if there's anyone that has any sharing that they want to do or ask questions. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And just a quick comment here. I don't feel the energy on my side.
Mhm.
Like I don't feel it. One of the things I did notice this evening, again, I just went through these major shifts, is that previously there would be 12, 13, whatever different tones and voices that come through. And I've noticed they're all kind of coming into one harmonic. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm doing this work, but back in my head, I'm doing a million other things back here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and I could feel the difference. Um, but you know what? Even before we open up, I was wondering if you want to share just a little bit about your experience and what you just went through, and then we'll open it up. Susie, I see you. I'll get you first, but then we'll open up, um, for some questions. So if you want to just share with people what's just happened to you.
Yeah, well, it's still happening, and it's not a single event. As much as I like it to be a single event, it's not. So back in December, my higher self, stepped into my body, and ironically, on 12/12 of all things, and I felt it. I got this little urge to go into the closet, which is where I meditate at. We all have our little space, and that's the darkest, quietest place in my house. And I was locked in position for 15 minutes. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't twitch. I couldn't itch. Couldn't do anything. And I started asking a lot of questions. What was going on? And he started talking to me really fast. And he finally told me to stop. He says, I'm a little busy right now. This is my higher self. And he shut down my ability to think. For 12 minutes, I couldn't think of anything. I just had to sit there and be a witness to what was happening. It was the most incredible experience I had. So that was on 12/12. And then approximately 15 days later, on the 31st, he began merging the 13 in him into my physical body. So what I thought was going to be a pretty quick instant thing, it isn't. My life shifted in very dramatic, very, very dramatic ways for another conversation, another day. And in March, the end of March, I went to Mexico. And I have been in Mexico. I was still in Mexico. And I spent 30 days in a place called Jalapa, which, as we know, if you know anything about Mexico, you get to Jalapa by boat only. And you share the 7 foot wide road with the horses, the donkeys, and the four wheelers. About 1,500 people there. But the reason I was there was for isolation. And when I mean isolation, the internet was a luxury on most days. But this was no outside communication, right? This was no disturbance um, from anything really. And it allowed them to begin merging together. Now, through this process, the portion of the oversoul, three aspects of the oversoul, also came down into the body and began merging all of us into a single consciousness. And so I'm going through this process right now, which is why I made the comment earlier. I feel like I've only got one tone instead of these 13 tones that would come through. We're all becoming one. And
Yeah.
this is changing my personality, is changing my likes and my dislikes, is changing my perception of the world. It is changing my focus to, when I thought I was in service, I know I'm in service now. Like there is no change. There is no getting away from this. This is the new me that's coming online. So this process is going to continue for months and months as everything just circulates through the body. So yes, I don't know the proper Webster term, but a higher self merge will make a term up. So that's what I'm going through, folks. And tonight was the first night I've had an opportunity to use all these energies into one delivery. So thank you for the opportunity to share.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I'll reiterate, um, as a walk-in, you never really know what happens. Um, you never know from minute to minute, day to day, how you're going to be utilized in service. In my opinion, walk-ins come into this plane of existence to be into service. And I remember when I had gone to a workshop and I came back, just like, you got to quit your job. You can't do this 3D stuff anymore. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Already you've changed my life. And so, um, that quiet space that you're talking about, get ready for more and more of that because,
Yeah.
I feel very blessed that I don't have any chatter. in my head.
Mhm.
It's just a space of flow and, allowing things to happen. So that's really exciting when that happens for other people. And yeah, just get ready, my friend. I know there's a lot coming for you.
I'm excited. There's a lot of pressure in my chest right now. Like when I talk to them or they talk to me, it comes from the center of my chest. It doesn't come from the head. So it's my way of knowing, hey, I'm not crazy. I'm not talking to myself. It's coming from here. So yeah.
That's right. Well, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to start with questions from Susie. So, at the bottom of your screen, we have this, the little reactions button. If you could please raise your hand, because that is the easiest way for me to be able to um, keep up with who has questions. So, go ahead first, Susie.
Yes, Ken, I'm noticing a real marked difference from your time before and now. There's such an empowering. I was trying to get music and stuff, and I couldn't do anything else. I was just pulled in, and my question is, kind of like what Sheila said. She has this group that talks to her, but your group is in you. So how is it like living with them?
They never really talked to me as individuals. And in fact, they never had a lot of chatter. It was more of a knowing. Sometimes there was communications. And even now, I get a voice, but some days it's strong and other days it's not as they do the work they're doing. Right. So I never exactly know. Well, let's put it this way. When they're quiet, big things are happening. Big things are going on because they're too busy to really get in me, right? So it's one voice so far, just one voice. And yes, I didn't have all that chatter before. I think I would have been on some medications had that been the case. Not good ones either.
Thank you. I want to reiterate how deep it went today. I can't wait for the next 4 days to see how much healing there is,
Yeah,
or 7 days.
yeah, that means so much to me because on my side, remember, as I'm doing this, I'm in the background, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And while I don't have a root chakra, so I don't get nervous. I don't get anxiety. I can show up here and I could like not have any notes and I wouldn't be all panicky. So, but there's a part of me that says, man, am I delivering something? Right? Because I don't have the cues. I don't have the little check boxes done, done, done. I see it. But so that feedback is incredibly important to me, and I do appreciate that so much. Thank you, Susie.
Yeah, and it's fascinating how you don't come and teach us, you just come and do it to us. There's just such a, a, an impartation and a healing, and like I said, I can't wait to see what's coming from this. I could feel such power from you today. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I will tell you real quick here, and we can move on to the next call, is that today you actually did do some work, right? You did do the Living Library visualizations. The Living Library is going to become a very strong part of what I deliver going forward, and I'll be teaching people and empowering people to do these things on their own as well. That's coming, but let's call that 3 or 4 months down the road. So thank you so much.
Hey, we have sun shower.
Hi, my friend.
Hello, Ken and everyone. What a blessing to be in your Hollywood Squares presence.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I was blessed to be in Ken's presence when he came to Sedona last year, before he went off to Mexico. So you yourself have expanded in a huge way. That's pretty obvious.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, I have so much that happened in the Living Library today, but I'd love to have a session with you and just, chat some more about all this. But I did put in the chat a couple of images because, some years ago came to me something, I'm very visual, artsy, and something came to me called hollow webs. So
Hmm.
that's what I've shown here, and I don't know if you guys can see it very well. But what we went through today was very similar to what I was shown in 2015 with my own hollow webs spinning around me and then through me. And then the bottom image that I show here is just kind of how I was shown. that, things come from this sphere and then they come, they're birthed as these discs and then they overlap and there's these nodes, and where things overlap, that's where aspects of ourselves or aspects of others intersect. And that's where there's some healing that goes on.
Beautiful.
So I just thought I'd share it with people. If there was some way you'd like me to somehow chat with you more about it, I'd love that.
We can connect later. Thank you so much. And just real quick here. So I am available for sessions. I do private sessions. I do these group healings as well. Today was just an amazing opportunity to give everyone something for all that you guys have given me. So thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, does someone else have a question? Sabrina, hi.
Quick question. Do you know what kind of language you're speaking when you're downloading?
So as well as light language, I mean, it's a general term of language of light, right? It's consciousness. It's the universal language. And no, I don't know words. It's full of codes and information, and it's packed tight like a really thick hard drive. And this is why I can speak at once, and everybody in the room will get something different from it. Knowings, informations, activations, healings. I'll heal people just using the light language sometimes. So it flows out of me. It's not something I create. You'll notice the tones change. If you're looking at me, you'll see facial expressions change as well. And sometimes it's from the chest, sometimes it's from the throat, but it's always from the heart.
No, the reason I'm asking is I saw a lady, I don't remember her name, a couple of years ago, and she's from India, and she does clearing and activation, and she was using the same language as you just did. And I'm a dowser, so my first question is, where is this language coming from? And I got that it came from Jupiter, but it was brought to Jupiter from another galaxy.
Came from source. Ultimately, it came from. This was the first language that was ever interpreted or spoken across, well, all universes, if you will.
I just
the
thought
origin.
it was funny that it says I come from a different universe.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have another question? Another comment or a share? Okay, well, Ken, if you have an opportunity to check out the chat later, there's lots and lots of beautiful comments and
Yeah, I see all them. I'm going to grab them too so I can take a look at it, because this feedback's tremendous for me, guys. Anything you want to put in there helps me do a better job.
Yeah, Francisco, whoops, it keeps popping. Okay, said was feeling uncomfortable pressure during the clearing, then felt an energetic weight coming off. Then from there on out, I was intuitively previewing, seeing, and feeling what was next. An example, I felt a huge jolt in my body right before we were instructed to implant the upgraded DNA in our hologram.
Well, that's
Awesome.
fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks, buddy. Hope to see you soon, Cisco.
Yeah, one of the things I notice that happens with people is when you receive light language, you can have something activated in you that's going to begin to open up a whole new pathway for you. Sometimes people begin to have premonitions. Sometimes they begin to speak their own light language. Obviously, tonight, people are feeling phenomenal healing. So again, thank you so much for doing that, Ken. Okay, any other questions or comments?
Well, real quick here. I'm going to pop in the protocol to handle these energies over the next 7 days in the chat window. It's free. It's just a document. It'll help you process all these. And one word to the wise: don't drink alcohol for the next 3 or 4 days. It'll actually dampen the impact. Sorry, guys. Should have told you that first. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. There's a question.
Great. Yeah, I think Trish.
Yeah, I had a question. While you were doing this, one of my black cats came into my room and seemed to be reacting to the light language.
Really?
Yeah, it was very strange. I mean, He came up and very gently tapped my leg, like, tell me what's going on.
I don't know what happens with that, but I hear people say it all the time. My animal's sitting on my lap, they jump on the table. So they come to it regardless of how intense or how loud or any of that they are drawn to it. So, light language works for everyone, right? Or in everything.
Okay, anyone else?
How do we save the chat here? I'm looking at the bottom of the chat and I don't see that option.
Yeah.
To save the chat, it should be over. If you scan over to the right, you're going to see a little box that looks like a comment box. Then there's going to be 3 little dots. If you click on the little dots, it will say copy.
Yeah, I've done that before, but I don't see it tonight. Is there a way you could send it to us or?
Everyone available, participants. Yeah, it shows.
I tried copying and pasting and it didn't work.
Here we go. All right, let's try it again. Can everyone copy and paste?
No.
No.
Oh, man. All right.
I just signed up for your newsletter, so could you send it that way?
If I can get a copy of it, absolutely. And yeah, I can. If you go to the website, if you hang out on my website for more than 30 seconds, you're going to get a pop-up dialogue, right? That says newsletter. And I can absolutely send this out and I'll do a follow-up. Folks, it's going to take me a day or two. Tomorrow I'm on a plane, but I will get people a copy of this unless, yeah, I can do that. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Beautiful. Okay, hi, Georgia. You have a question or comment?
I'd just like to, hi Ken.
Hi.
I'd just like to tell you that I love your show, and since I first listened to you, Ken, when Augie did an interview,
Oh, yeah.
you seem more energetic, more calm, more confident, and easier to understand. I can understand you better, maybe because I've listened to you more often.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
I don't know, but my dog loves you as well. I had to lock her out. She's a little chihuahua, but anyway, I hope it's okay that I send this to people.
Absolutely. I absolutely share with everyone, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And if people are interested in the replay, all you have to do is go to YouTube to the Conscious Awakening Network. You can also go to our website, consciousawakeningnetwork.org, and you can find Ken there as well. He has a channel with us, and now that you've got your YouTube channel up and going, it'll be on our YouTube channel as well. So we do a lot of work together, and but all you have to do is check it out on YouTube. Okay. All right. Susie?
Yeah, Ken, could you just go, since we can't get that page, can you just kind of take a few minutes, like a minute, and go over what the next few days will be like? We won't drink, I don't anyway, but, just...
Yeah, you're going to find yourself potentially going through an emotional purge, right? You may find yourself crying and not knowing why. Like you will feel emotional. You'll be like, you have no idea where this is coming from. You don't have to know. You just need to allow that to come out. People report insomnia. People report deep sleep, 12, 13 hours, right? They feel exhausted as these energies move through them. You're going to notice shifts in your life, potentially. People moving out of your life that no longer serve you, and people moving into your life that are more suited for your higher energies. You should begin feeling the body itself elevating their frequency. Your emotions should feel better, even though you're going to go through these purges, if you will. For those of you that got physical healing as well, understand the energies are going to move through the body. Your shoulder hurts, you might feel it move, it might get a little worse before it actually releases. This is a common thing that people report. It got a little worse, and then it just went away. So ground, right? And just take time to decompress. That is the best way. So most of it's in that article there. But yeah, that's what I suggest. So if you feel weird, feel off, this is why. This is absolutely why, and allow it to happen. Thank you.
Okay, one more round. If anyone has something they'd like to share or a comment, we will go ahead and make space for that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And Ken's going to put the link in his newsletter. So if you have not signed up to be on his newsletter, please check it out at kenlloydofficial.com. And what I'd like to do before we start to bring the energies to a close, Susie has a song prepared for us that's just going to kind of start to wind us down. So Susie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Love is all we need. Love is all we need. When I get discouraged thinking all is lost. When we get discouraged thinking everything is lost. Love is here. Love is here. Love is here. Love is here. Love is all we need. Love is all we need. Love and oneness penetrate me. Love and oneness penetrate me. When we feel discouraged thinking all is lost. When we feel discouraged thinking everything is lost. Love is here. 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 Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. All right, folks. Ross, I'm going to go ahead. We've got just a couple minutes. Ross has a question. All right, my friend, go ahead and bring your question.
Yeah, quick question. Thanks, Sheila. I appreciate. Ken, thank you very much for a wonderful presentation and for sharing very powerful energy. One quick question. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about who is Patricia Wells?
Yeah, I can do that. And by the way, my video is frozen, but I am here. So Patricia Walls, Walls. Yep. I just interviewed her the other night. She's an author of 9 books. She is one of I think she brought in the Hall of Records. She lives in Texas, but she's quite the practitioner. I mean, she has so many modalities, and she's full of so much. I mean, just talking to the woman is incredible. And I know I only spent an hour with the other night. She has libraries and libraries of knowledge and information, and I don't know how else to explain this woman as just, well, a library of everything. So what she explained to me was the Hall of Records, which is what she teaches people to go into the Hall of Records to do the same thing we did tonight in the Living Library. Okay, to go in there, and the Hall of Records is inside of you, to go there and remove, those contracts and those things to help you move through the energies, if you will. And what she told me, which was pretty shocking, was that the Hall of Records is in the Living Library. And I was like, well, can you explain that? She says, yes. And she has beings that she talks to. And she made the comment. She says, listen, she says, the Hall of Records is like a level 3. And she didn't explain the levels. She says, but the guides tell her that the Living Library is like a level 14 in terms of all of consciousness, past, present, future, and across all different species. And literally everything is accessible in the Living Library, where the Hall of Records, it's all about you and your past. All your lives and future lives are in the Hall of Records, but the Living Library is everything. So this is one of the things she explained to me. She's a good friend, and I wish I had more time to pick her brain, if you will, but kind of in the middle of all this craziness myself, right? But I hope that answers your question. And I do suggest anyone reach out to her, if you want to learn more about the Hall of Records, or she's written a book about the language of light as well.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much for sharing. Sheila, can we have her here on this platform?
As a matter of fact, she is coming.
Oh,
So I think we
wow.
actually, I'm going to be doing some things with Ken, and we have her coming, I think, on a Monday, and then I have her on a Thursday. So everyone will be exposed to her twice. She is absolutely a radiant soul. Please be sure, sign up to be on our newsletter if you haven't already, consciousawakeningnetwork.org, and you will receive weekly notices of who we have coming. So just kind of watch out July, August, and you'll get to hear her.
Awesome. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Ken, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was awesome to have you with us, fresh out of the
jungles of Yalapa. Yeah,
out of the jungle, out of everywhere,
yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was very, very powerful. And I appreciate everyone being here and for sharing all of your comments. I appreciate the YouTubers sending comments as well. Thank you so, so much for being with us. To everyone out there, thank you. Thank you. You have been listening to Ken Lloyd. Check him out at kenlloydofficial.com. So until we're all back together again next time, much love to everyone. Namaste, and have a beautiful and blessed week. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Big hug, everybody. Mwah.